Okay, so I'm finally recording. All right, I got it all.
All right, let's do it. I'm excited.
All right, so what are we talking about today? Anything? Doing our normal conversations?
Yeah, that's how we
How's
do. We just let
isolation?
it take us wherever. Isolation surprisingly has been good for me.
Where's your other earphone?
I don't have any audio out of the other headphones, so I just use
Still,
this one.
even after I fixed all my stuff?
I mean, I can try. Let me try. I'm scared to like mess up something now. Let me see.
Can you hear me out of both ears?
No, not out of both ears. I still hear you in this one, and I'm scared to like take it out and then. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time. If not, I'm just rocking with one. I'm gonna be that guy that just has one AirPod, and they're gonna be like, "What happened to his other one?" This guy
it's the
can't
new
afford
cool
another
thing.
AirPod.
It's like when people used to wear one pant leg up high.
Oh my God, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my, were you a part of that? Like,
No,
did you join that trend?
I lived in Wyoming. We didn't do that.
So it sounds
And we
like you
couldn't
dodged the
figure
bullet
out
there.
why people did it.
Man, there's so many stupid trends that I did and were a part of. Like the whole like baggy movement. Like, oh my God, I cringe at those. Like when I look back at those pictures, man. Oh my God, it's like, what was I thinking? Like the whole like baggy jeans, extra like 2XL shirts. Like, man, it's nuts, man. it's nuts. It's crazy, man. It's really interesting, like what trends do, man. You know, it's weird. It's weird that like I don't know. What do you think it says about a person that
I
follows
lost
trends?
you.
You lost me?
Hang on.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Okay, now I got you.
All right, you got me. What
I got
did
you
you
in my
hear?
headphones too.
Oh, you went. All right, cool. So they work in your headphones, but me, I'm in the one. All right, cool. That's cool. I'll take that. I'll take that. It's cool.
The audio was sinking down. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Where is he going?
It was probably like, it was probably warranted. Like that conversation was probably going nowhere real fast. But yeah. All right. So
baggy pants. I got to baggy pants. What was it?
oh, it's cool. We can move past it. It's like it's a very traumatic
Just let it
past.
go.
Just let it go. We'll just let it go. But to answer your question, social isolation has been pretty good. Like, well, I'm used to it in a way. Like, it hasn't been too different from my regular life.
Right.
I've been able to focus and get more stuff done, creatively that I would, like to do, as opposed to finding it tough to, carve out that time to do that. So I've just been trying to take advantage of it. And it's so weird because normally I'm a little bit more lazy when I have free time. And like I guess like this isolation period has kind of like really forced me to like take a look at myself and how lazy I can tend to be. And like it gives me that option with, all right, dude, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to continue to be lazy or do you want to like jump in and do something here?
Right.
So it's been kind of like kicking me in my butt in that way. But as far as like the socializing and stuff like that, I'm not. Nah, it doesn't affect me like that. I don't know. I get energy from being isolated. Like, I'm not an extroverted person. Like, I've told you that before. Like, I'm more introverted. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm good.
I know. I think it's a guy thing. Like almost like even my husband's the same way. Like I asked Joe.
Really?
I was like, Joe, like, how are you doing? Okay? And he was like, I'm great. He's like, there's no traffic on the road. There's no people in the stores. He's like,
right.
I'm good. He's like, how are you? And I'm like, a tiny little chihuahua, like shaking, like, get me out of here. Like, I need people. I need affection. I need to just
see. My wife is like that. She's like going stir crazy. She's like, oh my God, this is just, I don't see how you do this. And I'm like, yo, this is beautiful. Like, I'm loving this. Like, finally. Like,
So
Like it took a virus to get here to get to this. Like,
I know, right? So we were cracking up because yesterday I told Joe, I was like, you know what this is like? And he's like, he says what? And I said, remember like those when people would go and they would try to like win the trucks and win the cars and stuff, and they would all like jump into this car and they'd all have to be with each other for like a specific amount of time.
right.
Everybody was up for that. And I told Joe, I was like, we can't sit still in our houses. I was like, we've got 2,000 square feet and I feel like I'm in this tiny little cage. And I was like, apparently I don't care about life. So get me out of here and do something. I'm not winning a truck.
Wow.
I'm not winning nothing.
So you find like when you like step out for like fresh air, like you kind of get like that boost of energy that you need.
I do, but then it's almost like the anxiety comes back because it's like dangling in front of you. Like you're so close to, like, it's not like I'm going to jump off my deck. I mean, I've thought about, doing some jackass bullshit, but apparently that's the new thing on Instagram. People are getting so bored. We're back to that. People skiing off of roofs and stuff. But no, I get anxious again. I get anxious because I know I have to come back inside.
Oh, we got a visitor.
That's one of them. The bulldog is laying down here by my feet. This is RJ. This is
Hi, RJ. He's a big guy. He's a really big guy. So hold on, let me check on Mama real quick. Who's a strange guy?
He is. You know what? It's so funny. Is I'm just gonna go with it that people think he's this big mean dog, and he's not.
No, he looks adorable. He looks very lovable. He's very calm. He doesn't look intimidating at all. Maybe his stature might be intimidating.
Yeah. Well, when he's got all of his hair, like, I don't know if you've seen the pictures of him on my Instagram and stuff, but he looks like a giant wolf. And it's just really hilarious because I got him when I was living in Florida.
Okay.
And when he was a puppy, he was still really big. And he still had really long hair. And Joe and I weren't together yet. And so I lived in this apartment in Titusville, Florida. And he'd gotten loose from me. And these little kids were riding their bikes. And I lived on Indian River. And so these little kids were riding their bikes, but they had seen him and they couldn't pedal fast enough. And so they dropped their bikes and were running.
Oh, God.
And you can't help but just laugh because I mean.
You know what kind of fear that is, that you got off of your bike. Said, yo, screw the bike. Like, I'm going to rely on my feet. Like, screw this.
And it's
wow.
So RJ catches up to this little boy, and I was so worried about the little boy. And RJ, of course, it's like Tigger and Pooh. Like he just like pounces on this kid and is just licking his face, and he's like, "I'm gonna be a wolf man. I'm gonna be a wolf man." And he was jumping up and he was all excited.
Wow.
I was cracking up. His mom.
That's classic.
I thought his mom was gonna murder me. She came out and saw that, and when she saw like everything was okay, it was like, I think it was a relief for the mom, but yeah, I thought she was gonna kill me because I was laughing the whole time, like running after him because I knew it wasn't gonna hurt anybody, but I mean, like,
right.
I probably would have handled it a little bit different and laughed about it later, not at the time, but when we
see, those are the best jokes right there when you can laugh in real time.
Well, and then when we lived over on East Court, our bulldog, she hates anything that spins. She'll go after the bikes unless she's gotten used to it. She goes after the vacuum all the time, right? So we're living on East Court, and this boy was on his way to go to football practice and was carrying his shoulder pads, but it was dragging his helmet. And she came running out the front door.
Oh my God.
And he ran out of his shoes. Michael, the boy ran out of his dropped the pads and everything. She's a fat bulldog. It took her 5 seconds and then she's just
Right.
And he comes back, I'm like, it's your shoulder pads, dude. It's your shoulder pads. She's not gonna hurt you. No.
She's like, I just wanted to play. That's all.
Yeah. And that's it. Like our dog, they don't go after anything.
So you're definitely a dog person. No cats.
I had cats growing up, but they lived in the barn, so.
Okay.
We had a few in the house. I'm not gonna lie. We had a few in the house, and it drove my dad crazy because my mom
Really?
Yeah, she got into Persians. So not the people,
Mm.
the cats.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
So long hair, flat faces. I don't know what is with
Mm.
my family and wanting animals with flat faces. Bulldogs, Persians.
Must be a thing, huh?
It must be a thing. No, so she was breeding Persians. And I mean cats are messy. Like even if they go in their litter box, and especially when you're breeding cats and cats aren't fixed, they spray and it crystallizes. So you can't get it
Really?
out. Yeah, so you can't get it out. So it's done. So like even on homes, like when we're pulling carpets up and stuff, I'll know if it's a cat.
What are those one cats that like they're like super expensive? Um, they like they're like big. They're like the next size under like big cats, but like they're domesticated. I forgot the name. You know what I'm talking
No,
about?
yeah, yeah.
Those are some big cats, but they're so beautiful, man.
They're neat. They're
They
cool.
are so
I like
beautiful to
them.
look at, man. I knew a guy that actually had some of those, and he was like, "Yeah, I had to." He would always have to go home whenever they had like whenever he had like some maintenance guys coming over or something like that, and he would always have to go home. He's like, one time I let a guy go in there and my cats were out, and he was like, it about freaked the guy out just how big those cats are.
What are they called?
Yeah, now I'm curious.
You're talking about the ones that look like the cheetahs, right?
Yes, yes.
You know, the one I'm usually really good at Google, and now I just can't find anything anymore.
I know. I can't find it either. I'm looking too. But you know which one I'm talking
I
about.
know which one you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it this? No, it's not the Savannah cat, is it? I don't think that's it. It may. Is it the Savannah cat?
There's
That actually may be
yeah,
it.
the Savannah cat. I could have sworn there was one that was like it started with a C.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
remember what they're called.
100% convinced either. But
I don't
yeah,
remember.
anyway, that cat, yeah, he showed me pictures of it. I'm like, geez, man, and they're like crazy expensive too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But how's social isolation going for you?
Mm-mm.
Not feeling it.
No. No. It got really bad last night. Tequila got involved.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, tequila got involved. All right.
My poor friends. Like, hey, RJ. I have FaceTimed them probably more in the last week than I have in the last 5 years for the ones that I haven't seen. And my sister's best friend, Amy, I finally called her on Messenger yesterday. And she just answered the phone shaking her head. What? I was like, Amy, I'm so bored. And she's like, and she's out in Wyoming. She's like, go to the park. And I'm like, they're all closed. She says, what? And
Right.
so, yeah. And so I was explaining to her, I was like, everything's closed out here.
Yeah.
I said, it's shut
Yeah.
down. I was like, it is locked down. I was like, we are like at ground zero here. I was like, you can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So
I don't know. So you don't like just being like one with nature and
I do when I want to be, not
when
when
you
I'm
want to be, got you, not when you're
not when I
forced.
am
Okay.
being told this is what you have to do.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
You know, I think it's
Okay.
like anything. When you have the option, okay.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
there's not an option, it's how can I push this to the limits?
Right.
Like how many nerves am I just gonna who's got what, sensitivity?
Right.
So but it's fun. I watched a lot of YouTube,
Okay.
a lot of practical jokesters.
Okay. You came across anything interesting?
Yes, I can't think of her name, but she's so cute. She's this little blonde girl. They live in Tennessee. She's always doing jokes with her fiance.
Okay.
And it's just fun to watch other people do it because it's stuff that I would do, but I don't like doing stuff that other people have already done. But it had me cracking up. So anyways, so one of the things she did was, it's all like stuff that she's seen since they've been on quarantine as well. Have you seen the video of the guy that took the Dawn soap on the tile floor and was running?
No, but I have to see that now.
It's RJ, please go, dude. Can't wait. I thought I shared a screen with you. Am I sharing my screen with you?
Yeah, I see your screen. Can you see me?
Yeah. So how do I get you to come on thing? I don't want you that. Go away. I want her to get to the video. Exit full screen. There we go. RJ, your breath is really...
You know what? This is sad because I recommended Zoom to you and you know way more about it than than what I let on to. So like you're like educating me. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know what's happening. YouTube. Can you see my screen like me typing and stuff? You can just see me.
I just see you, yeah.
Oh, that's not cool. But if you go to YouTube,
okay.
Guy runs on soap.
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone right now. He actually attempted to run on soap. Is this the first one? Guy puts soap on floor and does cardio?
Yes.
Yo, this guy, man. Yo, right. Yo, you have to applaud the creativeness, man. That was really creative. Oh, there's multiple ones. Have you seen?
I haven't seen the multiple ones. I'm trying to find the girl, and it really ticks me off that I don't know who she is. Because I was rolling yesterday.
Knowing me and my luck, I would try that, and I would like fall and hit the counter or something and have a concussion. And
so she attempts it in the bathroom, and he's videoing her. And he's like, "You're gonna crack your skull open." And her personality is exactly like mine, and she tells him, she's like, "This is what you get when you lock me in the walls. I can't go anywhere." So she takes the Dawn soap, and she's like, "Be happy I'm in the bathroom and not on our wood floors, babe." And he's like, "Whatever." He's like, "Please don't crack your head open because we're not going to the hospital." Right. So she takes the Dawn soap and then puts olive oil in it, like mixes it all together, and she's cracking up, like she's laughing, like she already knows what's gonna happen. And she does, so she holds on to the wall and the seat, right? And she's going, and he's like start slow. And so like she's moving her feet around, she's like, "Oh, this is so cool." And sure enough, she starts doing this little motion, and she just goes flying, and she falls.
Oh my God.
But she's laughing so hard, and you can't help but laugh, and you're just like, "God dang, this girl."
See, I need to see that. See, I need that laugh. I need that laugh.
Oh my gosh, she cracks me up. And apparently it was on TikTok. She found out what happens when you put baking soda in with ketchup.
What happens?
Please don't do that before you guys move.
Oh God. Oh my God. Is it similar to like the Mentos and the soda thing?
Yes. She was trying to prank her fiance, and it backfired.
Oh my God.
And you have to
I gotta look that up.
The shit they do to each other cracks me up. And they have such good personalities for it too. Like the
that's important.
Yeah. The marshmallow challenge and stuff. Like he was throwing marshmallows at her to see how many she could catch in her mouth. And then he was doing the big marshmallows. So then he threw an egg at her. So she got it in her
While she had
mouth.
the
She went to catch it and it cracked. I was cracking up. She's all, ugh.
Oh my God. See, that's hilarious.
Yeah, see, that's good
So
stuff.
have you attempted to do any of these? I mean, I know you said you like to be creative and you don't want to recreate the wheel, but
Yeah. So we tried to do the koala challenge yesterday. I don't know if you saw that on my
Yes. I saw that. Okay, I saw that. Okay.
So that's my new
That
goal,
looked fun.
to have it completed by the before we go back to work. Is
Okay.
to be able to get around my husband and do all this stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I challenge you and your wife to that. See who can do it.
Oh God. Oh goodness. Yeah. So the way that my back is set up, I don't know how well that would work out.
Okay, so have your kids do it on your wife.
All right, that's better. That's a better idea. Yeah. I'm sure my daughter would kill that challenge. I'm sure because she likes to climb on me anyway. Like at the most random moments, like she's like climbing on me. Like Daddy, her new thing is like, Daddy, do that thing where like you like I'm upside down and you grab me by my ankles and you like spinning me around. So like one day, I like picked her up and I did it. Like dude, I almost hit her head on the refrigerator. I'm like, oh man, that was a close call.
I'm listening to you. I'm trying to get this dog to leave me out. He gets jealous. He gets jealous.
Okay, all right. Is that what's going on?
Pay attention to me.
I promise, man. I want no parts, bro. I want no parts. All right, you got it.
He does this even when I'm trying to work. He'll just come in and he just breathes on me and he's like, love me, love me, love me. And I'm like, God dang.
He's like, I want to be a part of the pod too.
Is this what parents feel like with kids when you're just like, get away?
Yes, that is exactly how we feel. Yes. Yes.
Dad, what?
Oh my God. See, exactly. See, I have the luxury of like my daughter's like super attached to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So, like me, like I'll kind of get her to come do fun stuff with me, but like everything else, she's like, mommy. And it really is like that moment. Like she's like, what? I love you. It's like, oh my God, man.
Why?
And I try to help her. I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do, man? She's just so attached to you. Like I can't do anything about it. Like I can try. But her new thing is like my wife's new thing is TikTok. Boredom has reached its moment and its peak with her that she has given in and joined TikTok.
Oh. Has she made some fun videos or is she just watching them?
We did make some fun videos. Like we made one. So we found this one where, because my wife is Croatian, right? Mm-hmm. So we did this one where it's like 4 words that my Croatian wife can't pronounce, right? So what I would do is like I would write the words down, right, that I know she struggles to pronounce, and I wouldn't tell her about it. And so like while we're recording, I pull the word out. I'm like, pronounce this. So one of the words that she can't pronounce well is vegetables. She says vegetables, right? So we're cracking up because she's looking at me. She's like, oh my God, no, you didn't pull this word out. So like we're like cracking up, and it's just funny. So she got me back though. So I had to pronounce Croatian words.
Uh-oh.
That was just, oh my God. Like I felt like my tongue was like twisted up by the time like this was all over. He's trying, man. He's not giving up.
I'm gonna go
he
put
said,
him.
You're gonna let me.
I'm gonna go put him on the balcony. Hang on 1 second.
All right. Got it.
RJ. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Now I'm having problems with my headphones. Okay.
All right. Did he take the news well? He's okay?
Yep. Him, the bulldog scurried out of here, which is great because she's got really bad gas and
Oh gosh, that would have made for hilarious.
oh god, bulldogs are raunchy. No, do you
Yo,
guys
a
have
dog's farts are the worst, man.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness, man.
Yeah. RJ scares
No,
himself.
so we had a
when he
dog.
farts.
We had a dog. He scares himself?
Yeah, he scares himself. It's really hilarious.
He's like, what was that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny. That's funny.
Yep. Okay, so what happened? So you had a dog.
Yeah, we had a dog. His name was Ace. He was a brown lab. And we were debating on, if we were going to keep him around for the baby. Because he has, he was a rescue dog. Or a dog that we rescued. And he has anxiety real bad. Or he had anxiety real bad. So we were kind of debating on, we took him to the veterinarian and tried to see what our options were. And if it was, how he was going to adjust with us having a new baby and stuff like that. And so, we thought about it. We said, okay, well, let's try to see if we can, find him a good home first, before we kind of explore that option. And so we did. We actually used the services here on the veterinarian services here on base. And we interviewed a guy. He came out and, got a chance to bond with him a little bit. And, and we made the tough decision to find him a different home. It was tough. It was hard, but
yeah,
we weren't giving him the love that he needed, I should say the attention that was warranted. Cause labs, and that's something to my fault that I didn't do a lot of research on. It's like labs are like super high energy, like, oh my God. Like, and it wasn't gelling well with our family at the time, honestly. And it's sad for me to say that, but it's just the truth, And so rather than him, suffering.
But at least you took the time to get him rehomed.
Yeah. Peter, people, don't kill me. I didn't do anything. I didn't harm him or anything like that.
It's rough. I mean, it's such like a fine line anymore because I don't like it when I hear people about dumping their animals off at a shelter, but I'd rather them be dumped at the shelter than on the side of the road. So it.
Yeah. I definitely didn't want to go the shelter route because, like we love animals, and I wanted to, it was important for me to find him a really good home. And I had a talk with the guy and I'm like, look, if you can't give him the love and attention that he needs and, I'm not going to give it to you. Flat out, period. So the guy's really good. Every now and then I would check up on him, but I kind of like gave him that space now. He's doing well. It makes me sad to think about him, but he was a really good dog, and we'll revisit that like later on down the line. We'll revisit getting the dog again. But yeah, we definitely love dogs. My wife, she's into cats. I'm not really a cat person.
Yeah.
I like dogs. I'm not really into cats like that. I've always grown up with dogs, so.
That's interesting that she, for having a hyper personality, that she would like a cat. Because cats are very mellow, but maybe that's the calming of it. Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's why my dog gets on my nerves, because he's like me. He's like, I want to play, I want love. just like, no.
You're like, get away from me.
But yeah. So what else is going on? Oh, so you got accepted to which school?
Jacksonville University.
Jacksonville. And you guys have found a place already?
Yes, we did. We have found a place. We have secured a dwelling place. We're sad, though. We're sad to leave.
Really?
Well, we're sad to leave our friends, not the place. Let me clarify. Sorry, Marilyn.
I know. I'm just like, please. It can't come soon enough.
It's rough, man. It's rough here, man.
This is
It's just
different.
I don't know. It's yeah, I'll just say that it's different. It's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you like? I know you come from Wyoming, but
Mm-hmm.
like, do you like appreciate like the kind of the big city life, or are you looking for something more rural? Or
I do. I've been into Baltimore 3 times, and
okay,
I can't stand it.
yeah,
Twice twice to go to the VA, which I had to be escorted in, which makes me
yeah,
nervous.
yeah,
And the third time we actually just did the what is it, the harbor, like where everybody Fells Point or whatever it is that you
yeah,
go down there to
yeah,
the pier.
yeah,
Which I mean, it's like any touristy thing. I've seen it, so it's not like my kind of city. We
yeah,
haven't gone to New York City yet. I really want to go check out New York. But I love
yeah.
Washington D.C. I loved everything about Washington.
Really
Yeah, I really did. I don't think it's just
interesting.
the history of it. I think it's more of I like how everything is laid out.
Okay, okay. So it's more like the structure of it,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Like
architecture and
there,
everything.
yeah, and it's interesting when you go down there, having been stationed in Europe and Japan. It's all like in one area. So you've got,
Interesting.
so you've got like the cherry blossoms, and then you've got the Roman architecture, the obelisk or obelisk. How is it? Obelisk.
Yeah, yeah.
That thing.
One of the two. Yeah, that.
The
Yeah.
Washington Monument. Instead of
Right. There
that.
we go.
Don't do big words. Um,
It's okay, Beeler. I
um,
was with you.
yeah, but and then you've got the theater, and you've got amphitheaters, and you've got the art
Yeah.
center, and then you've got all the history museums, and
DC
uh,
is nice. It is nice. It's
it is
very nice. It's a vibrant city.
yes, yes, and it's
Yeah.
so Georgetown. Have you been into Georgetown recently?
I haven't.
That is so. We went there when we first got stationed out here in 2017, and we flew back to Wyoming to go because we did a Diddy move. So Joe had to get out
Okay.
here first, and then I was taking care of my mom. So then I drove out, and then we flew back to drive back with all of our stuff. Well, we did a night over in Washington D.C., and we went through Georgetown, and did a lot of fun things. Um, and it was amazing to talk to. Oh, and if you ever go to Washington D.C., use Lyft, don't use Uber, because Lyft is cheaper than Uber. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. The guy at the hotel told us that. He's like, use Lyft, don't use Uber. So we were talking
Interesting.
to one of our Lyft drivers, and he was going to Georgetown University, and we were looking at all the different infrastructure, and he was like, yeah, he's like, they got like an $8 billion investment when Trump took his presidency in 2016. And so you go down there, and all of these high rises, and it's all university housing. It's all going to be for the students.
Wow.
It's all going to be for it's almost, he was explaining it was going to be almost like the new Google Valley, because now Google is down there, Amazon is down there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wherever tech companies are placed,
Mm-hmm.
like yes, business is booming for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So it's nice. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, it has its spots like any place, but
Right. So you've been here since 2017 and you have yet to visit New York?
and yet to visit New York. Yeah. I know.
Wow.
We even drove to Canada last year, and I didn't see New York.
Really? Wow.
I know. 12 hours to Canada, but haven't taken the 2.5-hour bus ride up to New York.
Yeah, I haven't got to Canada yet. How was Canada? So I'll tell you about my experience in New York and you tell me about your experience in Canada. Because I'm
Okay.
curious to know
All
about
right.
Canada.
You go first. I want to hear about New York.
All right. New York is very interesting. It is like no other. You know how they say like it's the city that never sleeps? Like that
Yeah.
is like the most accurate description of New York, because it is like everybody is like all about the hustle. Like even like when you go to the subway stations,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just like you can barely like, my word of advice is like know where you're going, know where you want to go, have some type of idea on how the metro works, because asking for directions in New York, people are like, yeah, you just take the 404, and then hop on that and take the 551, and then after that Like, what? Like, take the L train and then it'll land you in M and then you'll end up on 44th Street. And then, like, I'm like, dude, like, I'm lost, man. Like,
No.
I don't know what you're talking about. Can you please break this down to me? It was so sad. Like, I ran into this girl, right? Like, was obviously lost, and she was like very like flustered and like crying uncontrollably. And I felt so bad for her, and I'm trying to comfort her, but I'm like, I don't know where I'm going either. So we can just
We'll
probably
cry
just try to
together.
find our way. Right. But like outside of that, it's very interesting how their transportation system works. It's very interesting. But I actually drove up into Jersey, so I would suggest that drive into Jersey and then catch the ferry or subway or whatever into New York, because driving into New York is a nightmare. Like, it is crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to drive up
It
there.
might compete with DC traffic. It might compete with DC traffic, if not worse.
See, and that's it, is everyone has told me that I must have hit DC on a really good day twice.
So you haven't experienced that yet?
Nope. Traffic moved smooth around all the different one-ways that I enjoyed, having 6 lanes and going through the tunnels and up and out and over and knowing exactly where I was. And people talk about being there for and my husband, one of them, he's had to go down there sometimes, and I'll call him up and I'll be like, where are you? And he's like, and he'll just rant on the phone. I'm like, really? You're not even outside of DC yet?
Yes. Yeah.
Force words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Explicit. But I think you'll like New York, because one thing I like about New York is like it's very easy to be a blended tourist. Like, everybody's outside. It's so vibrant. It's so, I can't explain it. Like, the city is just alive, man. Like, it's like it's like no other experience. Like, it's very interesting. I think you'll like it. It's something to do. It's a spot, whatever you're into, whether you want to do, the tourist route, or whether you just want to just, walk and just, go, explore the whatever, New York City, downtown, whatever, Soho. Like, it's there. It's like, it's right there at your fingertips. Like,
do you think it'll be like that when all this is done?
No, I don't. Think it. I think it's gonna take a while to get back. I don't know, but New Yorkers they're like they take very pride in their city. So
they are.
I'm sure that they are. Like, New York is the best city in the world. That's kind of like their thing. But
until the vid came out, then they all got the vid.
Yeah, exactly.
You think this is when the Jersey people are gonna try to reclaim New York? They're gonna go back up.
Oh my god!
The ones that got kicked out that couldn't hack it, go back up.
Probably, man. Probably. This is like the perfect time. Yeah, this is the perfect time to strike, right? This is the perfect time. I didn't realize that was a thing for so long. Like, that Jersey and New York, that was a thing. I didn't realize that.
I know, right? It's
it's a thing. It is a real thing. Like, New Jerseyans, I don't even know the proper term, but like,
I got nothing.
Really pissed when you bring up New York. They're like,
well, and that's kind of how I feel about where we're at. Like, I feel like the ones that couldn't hack it in New York got kicked down to Jersey, and then they couldn't handle Jersey, so then they kept getting kicked out. And then they came down here and formed their own little angry crew of people that are just rude.
Yes, for sure.
God, they're so two-faced out here. You don't know what you're gonna get.
You really don't. This place also. What else is what other places similar to that? I don't know if you've ever been there, but South Carolina is kind of like that.
I've never been. No, see, and Joe's from South Carolina. He's from Greenville, which I have no idea where that's at.
Oh, Greenville is great.
Greenville is
Greenville's great. Like, but like Columbia down to like Charleston is kind of like that. Like, you never know what you're gonna run into. Like, it's very interesting. But yeah, like, I love New York. Like, I've been up there a couple times. Both times I was up there was for like music purposes. So it's interesting because New York was like a dream of mine. Like, 'cause I used to live in Oklahoma, so the idea of me going to New York was like, that's like the mecca of hip hop, like where hip hop was originated and birthed. So like, it was like a dream come true for me to go there and see that.
Were you stationed in Oklahoma? Or
My father was.
Oh,
My
okay.
father was.
Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up in Oklahoma. I grew up
At
mainly in
Fort Sill?
Oklahoma. At Fort Sill.
Oh God. I only hear
Fort
about it.
Sill, Oklahoma.
That's all I hear
It's a
about. Like,
nightmare. It's everything that you've heard and worse. Trust me. I couldn't wait to get out of there. It's like this huge melting pot of like basically the military, people from the military. You meet all kind of like, you know, cultures and backgrounds and walks of life. So I appreciate it for that. But the city itself, like the land, it's just flat. It's just,
yeah.
it's not a whole lot to do but get in trouble, really.
I can't. I don't know. I never had like any good experiences in Oklahoma. The short visits that I would go through there when we would go buy cows and then bring them back home.
And that pretty much sums up Oklahoma. There you go. And cows, flat, no good experience.
We came home with a bunch of turtles. So.
Oh, well, there you go. So, all right, so tell me about Canada. How's Canada? How's Canada?
Okay. And Canada is amazing. I loved it. It is, and it's between Montreal and Quebec. So we went to this resort called Mont Tremblant. And I know I just completely butchered it because I can't speak French. It is. So, but it was very beautiful, very calming, the nicest people. And it was interesting because we're skiers. I mean, grew up in the Rocky Mountains, like I want some elevation. Everybody out here is like, just go to Round Top, you know, just go to the Poconos. So, and we researched it and we were like, okay, you know, everybody keeps talking about it. And I look at the map and I'm like, I'm not going to pay Aspen, Colorado prices for, you know, for 800 feet. Like, no, this is not happening. And there's thousands of people and they're all angry. And did you ever see the movie Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds, that stupid rom-com that he did?
Yes. Do
you remember the part where his friends
You're talking about when he was like the fat guy?
Yeah. And the part when they're talking about where he's, you know, trying to get the girl or whatever, and his friend's like, it's Dusty Dingleman. He skis in his jeans. Like, I don't want to ski with people in their jeans. I want snow bunnies around me, like ski suits. Like, I want legit shit. So
that's funny.
So we get my friend Alex and we trek up, drive through Jersey. That was ugly, by the way. I've never seen so many cemeteries in my life. I have no idea what highway we were on, but I was taking, you know, like Instagramming the drive, and people immediately started chiming in. They're like, drive faster, get out of Jersey. And I was like, how do you guys know where I'm at? I don't have the location on. And so I was talking to one of my buddies, and he was like, dude, I know exactly where you're at. He's like, you've got nothing but 18 miles of just straight cemeteries ahead of you. And I was like, oh, dear God.
My gosh. Man,
so yeah, so we're like all the way on the western side. Went through western side of New York. Have no idea what little small town we stopped in, but it was so cute. It was a very historic town. No idea. Took some pictures. That's about all I got for you. But get to Canada, and you know, they always have at least like one person where you're at that can speak English. And so we stayed at a resort. I bought it off of Groupon. Did it for this year too. Thank God they, you know, with everything going on, they refunded us all of our vacation stuff.
Nice.
But just I think it's like 117 or 127 different runs, all sides of the mountain. You take all these different gondolas to go up, and you can be on the mountain all day and not have skied everything. And then there's different levels with restaurants on it. It's gorgeous. People were friendly. You're standing in line to get into the gondolas, and you're meeting people that everybody from Ontario has come over to Montreal to ski, and everybody that is from Montreal, they go to Ontario. So they just like swap sides of their own country.
Interesting.
Because they have basically like everything there. Like, it's interesting when you get up there and you start looking at the geography and mapping and seeing different adventures that you can go on. Everything is in Canada. They have it all.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't even think about it.
How's the food?
Okay. The food is amazing. I don't remember what that dish is called, and I'm sorry if you're hearing the contractors around me, unless they're mowing around at your place. Okay.
Probably something going
on. So there's some dish with like French fries and cheese and something else and cheese curds or something on it. I think
Hmm.
it tastes like dog food. But Alex and Joe, they ate the heck out of it. They were, every time we went into this restaurant, it was like orders, orders, orders of it. And I'm just like, I just want to drink a beer. And I take my sister everywhere with me, in her little urn. And so
Yeah.
we get there. She's been in my backpack all day, like skiing down the slopes and stuff. And so
Yeah.
we get to the first restaurant, and I'm pulling out my camera gear, and so I just like hand Sheridan off to Alex. I'm like, Alex, will you hold Sheridan, please? And like, I talked to her like she she's there, she's existing, which to me she is. And so
Right.
she's like, yep, sure. So here's Alex just holding, this little box, and people are like, oh, whatever, like not really saying anything about it. And Joe's just shaking his head. And so we get to our table, and I just set her up on the table.
Oh gosh.
And Joe's like, Megan, seriously? And I was like, what? I didn't do anything. And I was like, I swear I didn't fart. It wasn't me. And he's like, you're really going to put her on the table? Yes. He's like, no, she can go in a chair. Like, put her in the chair. I'm not having her sit on the table. So it's been interesting with him. Like, because I'll take
That's
her everywhere.
funny.
Yeah, I'll take her everywhere.
That's cool.
I got
It's like
you.
when you travel, she travels.
That's right.
And that was her thing, right? She wanted to travel.
That was her thing.
Wow. Beautiful. But your husband drew the line. He's like, all right, the line is drawn here. All right.
So we're in Colorado. And so I'll do part of the story. So
Okay.
all right. So Colorado is a state that authorizes fun things. I'll put it that way.
Gotcha.
Which we all
I'm
know,
following.
Colorado it is.
I'm
Okay.
following.
So all right.
Yay, Colorado. Progressive Colorado.
Right. So I have my sister with me, and I didn't have her after I came back the first time after she had passed away. So, because I was still going to be going back and whatnot. And so, and my dad wanted to put her. So she's separated in 3 different urns. So he has an urn that's an elephant, and that's going to go to our ranch in Wyoming. That's because that's where everybody wants to be spread, except for me. I want to go on a ship on an ocean. But anyways, so then he gave me an urn with her in it to go with me so that I could do what I want. And then there was a small little one that he was sending to somebody in Africa to spread her ashes in Africa. And I said, I want to take her to Africa. I said, can you just combine the 2? And then I'll just take her to Africa, and then it'll be done with it because I want to do the adventure. And he was like, oh yeah, sure. So he had the 2 combined. Right. So so this is my first time traveling with her. I had no idea what to expect. Like, they don't tell you these things, right? So it's not like it's a class in school that you go to. Like, if you take around your loved one's, urn with you, this is what you can expect when you get to the airport. So we're in Colorado.
Wow. I love where this is going. Okay. I love where this is going.
So we're in the Colorado Springs airport, and it's a small airport. I mean, it's not like an international airport. And so it's got a small town vibe to it. And so the TSA agent was new, as well as I was new to this routine. So I don't take her out of the backpack. I took like my iPad out of the backpack, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do. So she goes through, and of course it's beep, and ma'am, can you stand over here? We're going to have to open up the bag. Okay. And she's downstairs in the window. So anyways, otherwise I'll show you. So I'll use this box. So he takes her out of the bag, and he's just like, and I just immediately start crying.
Oh my God.
And Joe looks over, and he thinks I may have forgotten about some stuff in my backpack. And I'm getting ready to be arrested. And so the main TSA agent guy comes over. He's like, what is going on? I'm like, that's my sister. And he's like, whoa. He's like, okay. So like he takes the guy over, and like they set her down. I'm just bawling my eyes out.
Oh my God. I know that dude felt crappy, man, for doing that.
So my first experience with her was, because it's powder, they have to rub the outside. Like, they don't open it because it's sealed. So they have to
Okay.
take their wipes to it and make sure it's not like some type of chemical agent is what they're doing,
Right.
is testing it, right? And they have to wear gloves and all that sort of stuff. So that was my first experience. So that became, you know, kind of comical because it prepared me for my travels in the future of what I would have to go through.
Gotcha.
So-
Gotcha. Gosh, talk about breaking in, right?
I tell
Jeez.
you what. So then the second time I traveled with her, my plane was overbooked. And so it was coming down to, I was coming back from Arizona. And so it was the typical, when you're the last to board, your bags are going to have to go to the bottom of the plane. And I have her with me. And I was like, there ain't no flipping way.
Right.
This is,
Right.
no.
Absolutely.
She is not
you
getting
know
lost.
what's happening.
Like, I'm all about
Exactly.
adventures, but no. So I walk up to
Right.
the desk and I tell the lady, I'm like, look, I was like, I'll give you whatever you want. I was like, but this backpack has to sit on my lap. Like, my sister's in here. And she kind of looked at me. Like, I just talked to everybody. Like, they should know what I'm talking about. Like, who doesn't?
I mean, right. Right. Exactly. Come on. Like, my sister's with me. Like,
come on. And she's like, okay. She's like, let me see what I could do. And they allowed me to keep her. They're like, can you pull her out of the backpack and we're going to put your backpack up in the captain's closet. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, thank you so much. Right. And then I'm thinking, God, if we go down, she's going to hit somebody in the head. Like, she's a sharp object.
Wow.
So yeah. But yeah, all the adventures. I got some good stories of her. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
That's classic, man. Like, I'm sure she's smiling even thinking about that. Like, that's funny. That's a great story, man. That's a really great story. I'm glad you shared that with me. That's a great story.
We got some fun videos when we were out in Arizona. I was posting some of them.
So how closer are you to, I mean, obviously not right now with the vid going on, but how closer are you to getting to Africa?
Not close at all. So I found this gal that did a bucket list of trips around the world. And and so I took it, it's 20 different areas, and there might even be more now because she keeps adding to it. But it was all the things that tourists don't do. And one of them is actually when you go to the Middle East, is you take this train, and it's a luxury train. So you basically hit everything in 7 days. It's a tour of the train. So you go all the way up like on the Russian border and come all the way back down. You still get to go to the palaces.
Wow.
It's insane. And so she has all these bucket lists because this is what she blogs about. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, if I do this, I was like, Africa's not coming for a while.
Like, sorry, sis, we gotta hit these other places first.
And then my friend Rhiannon, she was telling me, she says, look, she's like, I'm gonna need you to have a chat with your sister and let her know that if she wants her ass to get to Africa, she better get this under control. So I did. I asked my sister, I was like, can you please just use all of your virology and microbiology little things up there and just please cure this. If you want to go somewhere,
exactly. Let's get this together.
Otherwise, you're gonna stay in Aberdeen, and this is not cool.
What do you think she would have thought about this whole thing?
Oh my God, this is probably her. It's her wet dream. What? I don't have to talk to people. And she wasn't like a virtual person. Like, I seriously, like, just for her, I was trying to binge watch the Harry Potter movies, and I was just like, and I was like, I can't get into these things, like, at all. Like, I'm like, how do you do this? Star Wars, I can't binge watch them, but I love watching them. But I have to be in a movie.
Okay, have you seen all of them?
I haven't seen the last one. The one that just came out, The Rise of Skywalker.
Man.
Yeah, I know. It's the last one. I just watched the last Avengers movie. I was bawling my eyes out. I was not ready for that.
You just now seen that? Wow. Wow. So, come on, Megan.
So, it cracks us up because we have 3 floors. I'm very blessed, right? We have 3 floors. And there's a TV on each floor, right? So TV in the master bedroom, TV in the main living room, TV in the basement, right? Everybody gets
Beautiful.
their space. So he will binge watch TV like all day, like the YouTube's podcast. He'll go work out, run 15 miles, do whatever, right? Like I told him, I was like, you might as well join the UFC at this point because virtual fighting.
You're right there, dude. Yeah. You're right there.
So he comes downstairs and it was the end of the Avengers, and I'm just bawling my eyes out. And he's like, that you're watching the Avengers, and I was like, I can't handle this. I was like.
Wait, was this recently? Like in social isolation?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm telling you, there's been.
Well, you know what? That's interesting. That's interesting because, like, there might be some parallels that you could draw between that movie and now.
I'm telling you, it's interesting to watch movies, and when you're in a different state of mind, everything is different.
That's true.
Everything's different.
That's true.
Like the audiobook I'm listening to right now, I started the first book. It's called Commune, and it's basically like the end of the world without zombies. A virus hit and asteroids have hit and stuff, and so it's like, and it actually takes place. They trek from California and they end up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and so I started the book prior to COVID-19, and it's one of the characters that's talking is he has never shot guns in his life, but it's survival. And so you pick up guns as you go, and he has to learn about the guns along the way and how to survive and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, God, I was like, these are things that most people don't think about. Like,
true.
You know, so, and they've even talked about it recently. Like the first thing everybody did was buy toilet paper and guns. Like gun sales went.
I didn't understand the toilet paper.
Now everybody wants a gun.
See, that makes sense, but the toilet paper, I'm like,
oh God, I know, right? But
that sounds like a very interesting audiobook.
Yeah, it's really good. So now I'm in book 2, and we're in isolation, and now I'm in like complete zone mode. Like, don't bother me while I'm in this book, because it's so descriptive, and the author actually worked with a group of Marines to make the Marine character, because he wanted it legit. He didn't want just vulgar language and just nonchalant stuff going on. He's like, no, he's like, I need real case scenarios. And so like some of the Marines that he worked with were in real combat situations, and letting him know like, hey, when a guy gets shot at this rate, at this speed, with this wind, this is what the body's going to look like when it drops. And he describes it in the book. And so I'm listening to this person, you know, get shot, and I'm just
very vivid.
Wow, it is.
The imagery.
Yeah. So you're
going to have to offline recommend this book to me.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, it's awesome. I like it. But yeah, it's a different state of mind when you're listening to it.
So since you're on the subject of books, do you prefer audio over? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to embrace more audiobooks. I'm starting to embrace them more. I don't know. I think I really enjoyed like just having the tangible book in my hand, like flipping the pages. But I don't know. Like I feel like certain books like that, I feel like they would come alive more on audio, you know? Make the imagination go a little bit further.
I like it because I need visual and audio at the same time. But if I try to read the book and try to visualize what it looks like, it's too much for me.
It's too much, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. I asked Joe, like, because I said, why don't you like this book? And he says, I love the book. I hate the dude's voice. Like, and that's one of the, that's always the argument.
And that's a hit or miss too. That's definitely hit or miss too.
And so you get used to the guy's voice. All of a sudden, like, it doesn't really bother you as much when you've listened to it for 14 hours. So.
What does he not like about his voice? Is it like too squeaky? Is it too distinct?
He says it's almost like he's trying to be too masculine, and he's already masculine enough. But what I'm trying to tell him, I'm like, he's having to do voices of Spanish women, Egyptian women, like.
That's pretty versatile. Like, you gotta give him some credit.
You gotta be able to, I don't need to hear a girl's voice. I mean, but you have a guy narrating to speak like a Spanish girl, and who's one of the main characters, whose husband was a Marine and stuff. And I was like, give the guy some credit. Like, it's not.
So it sounds like he didn't sell it. He didn't sell it. Right. Exactly. That's interesting.
Everybody lined up on the books. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But it's like I've tried listening to. There's a couple audiobooks that I have that they're nerdy technology books, and the guys are just so nerdy with their voices. I'm like, nope, not happening. Like, I will download your PDF.
Next.
Yep.
That's interesting. So you're into tech.
Yeah. I love technology. Oddly enough, I love technology, but I hated it at the same time. I like that I can operate it and start figuring it out, like kind of what we did here.
Yeah.
Joe loves technology. Like I've told you, like he would binge watch Elon Musk videos and Tesla and all the new upcoming stuff and the AI. Musk. Yeah. And his phone won't work. And the thing gets launched across the room. I'm like, what's gonna happen when your Tesla doesn't work? Like, are you just gonna let it drive off the cliff? Like, what's gonna happen, dude? Like, you have to know what's going on. Yeah, I was cracking up.
There's this theory that I've heard, and I want to know what you think about it.
Okay.
And it basically is something along the lines of that humans have become, because of our cellular devices, we have become androids, and our phones have become extensions of us, literally of us. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, like when you really think about it like that, that kind of makes sense. Like, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah.
We're like androids. Like, we can't live without our phone. Mm-hmm. Like, we have to have it in some kind of capacity. Like, we rely on our cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's interesting.
It's it's one of those things that I love it enough to keep me entertained. I wouldn't need it for survival. Like through this, I'm thankful for the technology, but I'm more upset that I can't get outside and go do other activities. Like go ride my bike, go ski, go drive to the national parks. I don't need GPS. I love getting lost. I think it's great.
Joe, I think it's great too.
No. Joe,
you gotta have GPS.
I need to know where I'm going, how long it's gonna take me to get there. And I'm like, but that's why you get so angry, because it says one thing on the GPS when in reality it's gonna be this long, because it can only keep up with so much.
Yeah, and it's fun, like you said, like when you get lost, it's fun to be present in the moment, and you're figuring it out, like, because like you said, maybe one day we won't have that. Then what? You remember the days we used to use maps?
Yes.
Do you remember those days?
Yeah. I can read a map.
I can read a map too.
I can read a map. I can read road signs. What I can't do is know exit numbers. I don't know exit numbers. Like people ask,
like you don't remember exit numbers?
No. People be coming there over here, and I'm like, where are you at? We're at exit 80. Where's that? She's like, it's the exit to your house. And I'm like, that's 80? I was like, just take the exit and go to Route 7. I was like, I know that much. Like,
right.
But yeah, Joe.
That's funny.
When we lived in Wyoming, he would call me off the highway, and I'm like, where are you? And he's like, exit 12. Where's exit 12? And he's like, 12 miles from the state line. Oh, what is around you? I need a landmark. I was like, are you at
I need landmarks, right.
Are you at the Flying J? Are you at the Terry Bison Ranch? Like, where are you? And he's like, exit 12, Megan. And I'm like, oh God. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, but it's funny because I can also do north, south, east, or west, and it drives him crazy. Okay.
So orientation is like one of those irritable things for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm not that oriented either myself. Not like that. Not for the Northwest and. Nope. I need landmarks. Tell me what it's by. Southwest doesn't work for me now.
Yeah, no. Joe is, I remember the first time he had met my dad. My dad was giving him directions to go somewhere, and he was like, what you're going to do is you're going to head west on Route 1. You're going to turn left. So therefore you're going to be heading south on College Boulevard. And Joe's like, can I just have the address? My dad's like, no, you're not using your GPS while you're around me. Like, I thought I was cracking up. I was like, oh my God, they're going to kill each other. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Because Joe laughed. He's like, all you people do is say, just look for the mountains. He's like, what do you do when you're on the other side of the mountains? And I'm like, then you're on the west side of the mountains. Therefore, the mountains are east. I was like, mountains are always to the west. The mountains are always on your left. then you're headed north.
Right.
If they're on your right, you're
Yeah.
headed south. Like, it's
Yeah.
just one little
See.
thing. Like, yep, nope, couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's funny because like my wife, like when she drives, like she's not aware of her surroundings at all. Like she cannot remember. She's like, how did you remember how to get here? I'm like, I just pay attention, like
Right?
to
Yeah.
my surroundings. Like I don't know. This is something that I just naturally do. She can go down the street and like forget like what was down the street. Like I'm like, babe, all you got to do is just go down here, take a left. You're gonna pass that thing that was over there, you know? She's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Michael, at all. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna use this GPS though to
Mm-hmm.
figure out what's going on. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I try not to I don't know. I'm like you. Like I appreciate technology, but I also try not to, I don't know, be so reliant upon it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard though, you know, because
It is.
everything is just so driven by technology.
It is. I don't now. Do you use like your Google calendars and stuff a lot, or like the calendar on
No,
Apple?
I mean, I will use the calendar on Apple. I do use that, like, just to like, you know, plug in like important dates and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. What about you?
Mm-mm. Nope. I like old school. Like I'll do stuff. I'll put stuff in there.
Like you
If
put
I
it in a
don't.
calendar, like a planner?
Yeah. Like a planner. Big old planner. I'm a big old planner.
Oh,
Old school.
nice. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yep. I've got a crap ton of notebooks. I'll use like the calendar if there's something that pops up and I need Joe to see it too. Like especially if he's at work, like if it's something that he and I both need to be a part of. That way he at least gets the alert reminder. But other than that.
Now, I did use, when I was in the Army, I did use a planner. I had to because it was so much stuff that I had to do, so many meetings I had to be to. Like, so I had to rely upon, like the phone just wasn't cutting it. Like, I had to have some type of book in my hand that I could flip to. That was like my routine. Like, I get in the morning and then I look and say, okay, what do I have on my to-do list? You know what I mean? So, yeah, for that, yeah, that works. I don't know. I guess I just didn't carry that traditional over yet. I don't know, man. Like I'm in this phase where it's like, uh, where it's like I'm trying to. I don't want to say shed certain things that certain habits that I picked up in the military, but just trying to be, I guess, less anxious about structure.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because like that's like one of my things. Like when stuff is out of place, like I'm like, no, this shouldn't be like that. And like, like need to be just right dressed. And I'm like, oh man, like I really gotta, But from what I've heard, it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some time to decompress, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It does. And it never really leaves you either.
Yeah.
You just get more flustered because it keeps changing. And then when you're trying to communicate with somebody, like I am now that spouse that does not understand anything that's going on with my husband's job. And it drives me crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Even my best friend that's still a legal man. They were on the phone together yesterday and she's trying to help them get these orders processed and stuff. And I'm losing my mind because it changes. It's amazing how much things have changed since I got out in 2009. And it just continues to change. Like you guys are pumping out instructions left and right. I'm just like,
right.
I can't even keep up. Yeah.
Wow.
So now I get to be that person that's like, when I was in the Navy.
Oh God. Oh man.
The
heyday.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, no, the decompression time, I think my hardest was I tried to go to college. Like I promised my dad when I came home, he's like, promise me you will go to college because you didn't go to college before you left for the Navy. And I was like, okay, I will go to college. So I registered for University of Wyoming and I wanted to go back and work for the Navy because I was a diesel mechanic. And since I'd been hurt, I wanted to go back in some type of mechanic related field. And so one of my senior chiefs, she called me up and she was like, hey, she says, why don't you go for mechanical engineering so that you can start working with out here in Virginia? You can actually work with the DoD contractors that actually are designing all the new engine systems. And she's like, now I'll put you back in, and you'll be comfortable because you already know like the steam operating side of it. Now you can know the digital side. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. So I get to UW and I go into the admissions office, and of course the lady's like, we need your high school transcripts. And I was like, well, how do I get those? Like, there's nothing like, I never went through this process before, right? Like, I didn't even pay attention
Right.
to it in high school because I was leaving for the Navy. I didn't give a F. So,
Right.
so I go to my mom and I'm like, Mom, I was like, do you happen to have my transcripts? And she's like, I don't. So we call the school, get a hold of the admissions department or whatever, and they send the transcripts. Well, I open them just to see them to take to UW, and she's like, we can't accept these. And I'm like, why not? And she's like, you opened it.
They're opened and they're unofficial. That's so stupid.
I know. So I'm like, oh God. So take it home. And my sister, it's kind of just like sidetrack offshoot moment. She's like, hey, let me see your transcripts. No. So she chases me and she gets my transcript out. I was the bottom of my class. Like, my sister was not the valedictorian. Like, what is the female version of the valedictorian? Like there weren't enough numbers in GPA to put where my sister was on an academic standpoint.
Jeez,
like, she had more ropes and collars around her neck walking across the stage.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, you're 374 out of 376.
Oh my goodness, man.
So she's like, oh God, she's like, you poor child. Like,
jeez,
so
man.
I go to UW. I get another thing of transcripts, take him to the lady, and she's like, okay. She's like, you're late registering. I was like, okay, so what do I do? And she's like, the only classes that I can put you in are going to be remedial math, algebra, or remedial algebra, senior level statistics, an economics class for micro and macro combined, and drama. I was like, oh, okay, like whatever. Like, I'm just going with it, right? I have no idea what stats is. No idea what statistics is, right? So, but I'm all excited because I'm going into, are you there? You're totally frozen. I'm looking at your frozen face.